I was 13 years old. Mom in July sent me and my brother to a children's camp. Conditions left much to be desired, food too. In terms of circles and classes, too almost nothing. But despite this, we brother liked it very much. Among my favorite pastimes were cards. My grandmother once taught my brother that's why we played the best. We're sitting in gazebo by our squad of 5 players played cards and the rest hung follow the course of the battle. Suddenly the crowd became someone to push came the eldest group, one girl 16 years old, mannered issue just look, pot-bellied trifle learned to play cards, and the queen of spades evoke weekly. We didn't know what it was decided that it was some kind of adult game and very interested. Let me to girls in the bedroom tonight I'll come, I'll show you everything, if they aren't cowards themselves we'll try. This girl said. Exactly at 23:45 she came and asked for a deck of cards. Put it on the windowsill, laying it on top face up the queen of spades. Took out the red lipstick and a candle. Painted on the window with lipstick staircase with 13 steps, and at the end of it door with a handle. Everything happened in full silence and darkness. Girl lit a candle midnight, she said spade 3 times lady come. Window at this moment it opened wide and the lady of spades was blown to Irma's feet by a draft. She was very happy, grabbed the card, I won. Yes, it means that I won. For some reason that girl frightened, quickly wiped off the lipstick from the window, put out the candle and silently ran away. In the morning on breakfast she came to our table and with a smirk she said, well, how did the night go, cowards? Here I could not stand who else of us is a coward, got scared of something and ran away, and we still tossed and turned all night and could not sleep. Irma howled incessantly like crazy, and drenched in sweat. In the morning they took her to doctor. What have you done? We are the counselor, let's go and tell everything. Run, complain, it will only make it worse for you. Peek, then the lady will come to you too. Here she is turned around and left. We consulted and decided to keep quiet for now. If the night passes calmly, we will not complain, but if something will happen, we'll tell you everything adults. While we remained silent. Day and night passed quietly. In the morning it turned out that Irma taken to the city, to the hospital. She doesn't have that's when pneumonia started. Nobody, I don't understand how it's so hot outside she could manage to get sick, and even in such a forum. Only girls guessed of our detachment, but we did not remember this and they never talked about it. Trying to convince myself that the peak the lady is completely irrelevant. Not much has passed years. I graduated from university and classmates went to celebrate a case in the cottage. Word by word and we became tell scary stories me and I remembered about Irma. And then Roxy asks, and now what do you think? It was in the peak lady, or the girl just got sick? I'm confused to be honest, for some reason felt guilty before Irma. We forgot about it after a week, that became with her at all. And all of a sudden she died. This thought made me terrified. I shared with the guys. And I know what's wrong with her. I remembered the girl this one, and it's a shame. How could we even allow this? Roxy answered me. Don't have measles yourself, what are you? But most not funny, peak ladies, bullshit. Listen, let's have you had no doubt call now everything together, the lady is the peak, and you will understand that you have nothing to do with it. The whole thing is just course of circumstances. This is not an idea for me, I liked it. I tried to refuse and persuade the guys not to do it. But all I was convinced that it was necessary, I say must relieve himself of the burden of responsibility. We turned off the light. Found a candle, a deck, Peter had the cards. Clean, new, everything is as it should be. Roxy took out the red lipstick. All gathered in the living room, the clock was almost midnight. We performed the ritual exactly like this, same as then, in childhood, only this time a draft that opened the window and caught through the card at Peter's feet, smiled. And I got scared. We erased stairs from the window, put out the candle and continued to party. Went to bed after 7 hours of the morning. The whole house woke up, heart-rending scream. Everyone ran to the sound, broke into the room. 2 boys held Peter by the hand. He was in hysterics, all pale, wet, through and through. Somehow calmed down, drink tea. When he came to himself, Then said this, of course everything is funny and stupid, but I dreamed of a terrible woman, blackened hair with toes, in white robe she floated on me. And then passed through my body. At that moment I felt so icy cold, which is simply incompatible with life. Besides that, I am like all the grief and suffering of the world. I felt it myself. It's indescribable, it's even not pain, but some kind of inexpressible words feeling. Began to calm him down, they say, and not such a dream. Decided it was time turn around and go home. Next day I called him by mistake. Took it. Mom is in tears. She woke up in the morning from an inhuman scream. Ran to her son into the room, and saw that he was standing in the corner holding hands and feet against the walls. Maybe keep it that way. Crazy eyes running, all white green, cracking all over, lips whisper something, and in the hand a long tuft black female hair. They have the whole family is bright. She said that her son picked up by ambulance. I had a panic. I called the guys what we could do. For a week the doctors tried to cure Peter, but all in vain. At the end of the 7th day Peter died. We all live with this sin in our souls. Never interfere with otherworldly world. You can't play with them things. Believe not believe, and it is better not experiment, they can cost life. In my story, I deliberately did not indicated all the stages of the ritual so that no one do not repeat it. Second story: a month ago my brother and mother and I gathered at sea, where we have an apartment. Day of arrival, mom unpacking suitcases, took out 2 dolls in the form of a clown, their brother. I was very afraid and offended by my mother that she brought them. And it amused me a lot. Mom put these dolls on the shelf almost in front of my brother's bed, but slightly to the right. Brother was indignant for several days, and then I calmed down and got used to it. But in my a plan has ripened in my head how to beat my brother nerves. Imperceptibly from everyone I became turn the clown's head to the side brother's bed. When he noticed it began to get angry and frightened. From the side it was very funny. Once he even almost threw it out of the window. Mom on me cursed, and all the time returned her head back. But it was so funny to me that I could stop. And did it again and again throughout the day. I also came and turned them at night, when my brother was sleeping. Every time a brother sees it was panicked and terrified. My day departure, I confessed to him that they were jokes. And went to another city, and mom stayed there on vacation. After a couple days my mother called me and started yelling. And she said to her brother, now it seems that puppets are always looking at him. I called brother and repeated that it was all a joke. But inside I was still very funny. In a couple of days mom again called angry, and said that the brother at night moves the dolls. And then pretending he was scared. She thought what he was doing this is on purpose to scare her and she allowed me not to do homework. This is her very angry. Me next night I woke up the bell. My mother called again, tears. She said that her brother at night there was a tantrum. Waking up to the toilet at night, he found clowns in his bed. It was impossible to calm him down. He screamed and sobbed so hard that he headache and ruptured blood vessels eyes. I had to call an ambulance. All in all he was admitted to the hospital. Mom all over blamed me, and for the first time I felt terrible, and not funny. Mom definitely didn't put dolls to him to bed, and he himself was not even afraid of them touched. I decided to look in internet similar cases and came across article where it was said that some things carry evil in themselves, have negative energy, and with such objects one must be careful. What I read made me feel uncomfortable yourself. Since I lived alone, before mom had to throw out her brother's discharge these clowns. I felt guilty for myself. And the other day I saw the head of one in the window of those same clowns. I don't know if of course I did, but now I don't understand. Maybe I've lost my mind, or maybe I've awakened something terrible that won't give me more normal life.